I'm Tiffany Youngren, and welcome to my kitchen. Today is hectic, just like usual. So today is a perfect day to show you what typically I'll do to make sure my family's fed this week. In my head, I constantly have a running tally of what types of dishes I want in my fridge, so when each member of my family is hungry, they can go to the fridge and have something to eat that they like. One of my staple foods is quinoa. It's spelled Q-U-I-N-O-A. It looks like quinoa, but it's quinoa. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. I only learned how to make it a couple months ago, and when I'm in a hurry and in between appointments like I am right now, one of the things I'll do is think about what can I make that is easy and quick that I don't have to finish before I go to my next appointment. And one perfect thing is quinoa. So what I've done, I had a cup of quinoa, rinsed and put in the medium pan, and I have a cup and a half of water into the quinoa. Turn on the stove to medium-high heat. Give it a little stir. Put the lid on it. As soon as it starts to boil, what I'll do is I'll turn it down to medium, and then I'll let it just sit for 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. So now that I have it on the stove, ready to boil, one thing I do though, because as soon as I turn the camera off, I'll be running around and doing as many things as I can before I go to my next appointment. By setting the timer, I won't forget about the quinoa. And there it goes. And it just turned off. And guess what? My quinoa is boiling. So what I'll do is turn it down to medium, set the timer again for 10 minutes. The quinoa will be done and not have any extra water or anything, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll come back and check it at 10, and if it's done, it's done, and I'll let it cool off, and if it's not, then I'll just check it in another 5 minutes. So I've turned the water actually down to low because it was still kind of bubbling up too much, and just crack the lid a little bit, and I'll check these in 10 more minutes. Many quinoa recipes call for cooking your quinoa in wine or chicken stock or other liquids high in flavor. I used to actually flavor my quinoa as I was cooking it. What I found happened is I used a lot of ingredients, sometimes expensive ingredients, and I really didn't notice the change in flavor. So what I've started doing is cooking my quinoa, letting it cool, putting it in the fridge, and then assembling the rest of the ingredients as I have time, and then seasoning it and putting delicious sauces on top of it. That way I get the full effect of the ingredients that I'm adding to it. I do add a little bit of salt, and sometimes I add a little bit of olive oil as well. So those are just some different ideas for you to try when you're making your quinoa. I encourage you to experiment and see what different flavor differences you see. But I just do it now in simple water and occasionally oil and occasionally salt, but as you can see right now, it's just water. So the quinoa is about done. It was so simple. It does not get any easier than that, and I was able to get some things done in the meantime. And this is what my quinoa looks like. There's no extra liquid in there. Just nice and fluffy and steaming up the lens. And we'll let this cool and store it until we have time to make something delicious with it. So now you know how to make quinoa. So before you leave the site today, make sure that you comment below and tell me one thing that you're going to do today that will help you be healthier and look even more fantastic than you did yesterday. Bye, and thanks for watching.